Recent home buyers racing back to market. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on to your hats and your glasses as I blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you they're tied together. If we lose one, we lose them both, and they're both under attack. As we speak, if you're new, please subscribe. Subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We're going to sharpen some iron today. Welcome to the show, everybody. So there's a new trend that I'm seeing, and some of you are apparently as well, because we're going to read an email from one of you today, a subscriber. We continue to get a lot of great stuff from you guys. Thank you so much for sending all this information and intel and what you're seeing in your neck of the woods happening. There's a trend here, and this was eye-opening, and I hope it'll be eye-opening for you as well as we kind of see some of the blowback that's occurring from the bubble environment. Let's not sugarcoat this. This was a housing bubble, friends. Whether you want to admit it or not, this was a bubble, exhibited bubble behavior, and anytime that's happened, there's always going to be some crash risk, and we all see the news that's going on with the economy, politics, and the financial markets. Everything now is threatening this one. This is I always say, we always like to say here, a lot of people want to say, this time is different. This isn't a bubble. This time is different. I always say, you're right. This time is different. It's worse. Bigger bubble, bigger potential blowback. We are dealing with so much more in this bubble than we dealt with in the last bubble. In the last bubble of '08, we didn't have runaway inflation. That's like the biggest elephant in the room. But throw a dart at an economic challenge map. We're going to hit something threatening them both right now, the economy and the housing market. But the newest trend that I'm seeing now is people that bought. We already talked and started covering how people have buyer's remorse right now. They wish they hadn't bought. Well, that's starting to now manifest in how you ask. Well, of course, I'm going to tell you in listings. People are coming to market with their recent purchases. If it was such a good idea to buy at the height of a super bubble, why would people be coming to market with their recent purchases? You would be holding on to those assets. I heard, I talk about as a trained salesman who works in real estate, most brokerages have weekly sales meetings and trainings. All companies have them if you have salespeople. And there's a lot of cliches that we've heard in buzzwords from the industry. One of the ones I heard recently was, it's not timing the market. You're not going to time the market. It's time in the market. It's time in the market. Well, if you bought in the last crash, your time in the market would have been almost 15 years carrying a depreciated upside down asset along for the ride until maybe it got to a break even, and it probably required this bubble to bring it out of it. So, I don't necessarily believe in a lot of narratives like date the rate and marry the house. Those just sound like stupid objective training buzzwords to get you off the fence and buy. My job is to educate you and surround you with high-level representation if and when you decide you want to go look at properties and not fall in love with anything. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you, because the second we fall in love with the house, guess what? They got us. They got us. And if you're ready to go shake the trees and kick some tires, you can't fall in love, because you might have to walk away. We might have to submit an offer that won't stick. Now, if you love the house, different conversation. But if we're out there simply trying to make sense, financial sense of these things, you don't want to fall in love with anything. But today we got a good email and an example of what's going on right now with people that bought in the height of the real estate bubble. So without further ado, let's jump over to this email, take a look at a property. Then we're going to meet back here, wrap this one up. Let's get started. All right, our forward-thinking subscriber writes, "Hi, Scott. We met at Dan's 250,000 subscriber celebration. I hope you're doing well. Here in Scottsdale, home prices are starting to decline. You will find an interesting property below where the seller got too greedy and now is in a downward price spiral. Check out this price history starting at $1,050,000 and now at $800,000. Well, thanks for sending it in. Let's go ahead and jump over to the property. All right, friends, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, and turn on your AC. You're in Arizona where it's sweltering hot, but their housing market is cooling off. Now let's bring up our crash map, courtesy of our good friends over at Zillow. Now let's take a peek at the property. And what do we see here? You guessed it, sucking air, empty, an absolute disaster. This owner is stuck with a completely remodeled home, but they can't offload it. Oh my gosh, we got trouble in paradise. We got trouble in the desert. We got trouble across the board. Let's look a little further. And what do we have here? Our desperation property description, a mile long. They're trying too hard to get this one sold. It's desperation time. Oh, but it gets better or worse, depending on how you look at it. They have a price history a mile long, token price reductions, chasing the market, the kiss of death, completely exposed with their pants down. Now let's look at our cost to carry. Oh, roll up the windows, turn the AC on, and maybe crack open a cactus cooler. Almost $5,000 a month to service the loan on this property if you were to give them today's stuck on the market asking price of $800,000. They're approaching 25% off. My guess is they've got many more coming before this one sells. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. And thank you to the person that sent that in. It was a lot of fun. My friend Dan over at iAllegedly. I got to get together with him again if I get a chance, but he had his 250,000 subscriber celebration party in Newport Beach at a fancy theater. It was a lot of fun. We watched Rocky 5 or 2 or 3, I can't remember, one of the Rocky films, and it was catered. A great time. Thank you, Dan, and thank you to our subscriber. It was a pleasure meeting a lot of you at his party. But the reality is, this is what we're seeing now out of the markets, is our listings are starting to come from people that bought in the crisis. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And this specific property, you can tell it's sucking air. So you're carrying a negative payment. That is bad. This was an investor. You're going to have flippers, investors, or first-time home buyers, everything in between. A lot of people bought in the crisis. This particular property was an investor purchased property. And they, see, as somebody who works with people constantly, I'm in escrow on properties right now in my own backyard. I'm in escrow with a bunch of properties all over the nation with you guys. We're in escrows all over. Everybody, when it comes to selling their house, always has a number. Everybody has their number. Like if I'm selling my house, I want to walk away with $100,000 cash, and that's my goal. And so I need my price to basically be wherever it needs to be. So as I need to walk away, my projections, I want to walk away with. Okay. Calm down. We'll try to get you out of this thing. They set their price too high, and now they're chasing the market. It's the kiss of death. I am so sorry to tell people, I continue to hammer this point home. You cannot chase the market. If you're in an accelerating market, then maybe you can price at the top of its value range. We're in a decelerating market or flatlining at best, with the news continuing to get worse. Your buyer pool is shrinking as we speak. You need to get in front of this. If we're shooting at a moving target, you always lead your shot. So one of our subscribers gave me that one, and I really love it. If you're shooting at a moving target, you always lead your shot. You're going to have to get in front of this price aggressively right now. If I'm selling your house, I need to get every eyeball in town over to the house that's buying in your price range. If I come on at the top of its price range, how many people are racing over to see my listing? Very few, if any. Now, you got to find out who your competition is and do what? You got to beat them. You got to beat your competition right about now, because the news is not getting better. Buying at the top of a bubble, even with a low interest rate, will not save you. It's not saving the listing we looked at today. It's not going to save the others that are coming right behind this one. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history is having some blowback. We're seeing people now that bought during the crisis coming to market already. Whew. If this was such a smart time to buy, why are people selling? Right now is the time to be shrewd, to be sharp, to be awake, to be centered, and be surrounded, because I'm going to blow the lid off this thing every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to love the next video on your screen, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make a count today. I'll see you on the next video.